Aita for farting on Thanksgiving dinner when my mother tried to bring up an embarrassing moment my stepdaughter had. My M35 stepdaughter Sophie, 14, has been struggling with health problems that cause her to wet her bed from time to time. No one knew about the bed wetting thing till we spent a night at my mother's house. Sophie had wet the bed in the guest's room and my mother found out. My wife and I explained the situation, offered to clean the mess up. Then asked her to not tell anybody about what she saw because Sophie is already in a bad place mentally and would not be able to handle any comments from family about this. She even said that she will stop visiting if this gets out. My mother crossed her heart and promised us, and we thought this was the end of it. On Thanksgiving dinner that was held at my mother's house. While we were eating and talking about a bunch of stuff, my brother mentioned that his dog peed in the kitchen. I looked at my mother and she looked like she had a similar story to tell, and that's what she loves to do. Just gossip and share similar stories. I knew what she was going to say when she opened her mouth and said, "Speaking of pee." I felt helpless and tongue-tied. I couldn't even speak, so I just let out a loud fart as a means of distraction. Everyone stopped and stared at me. It was very awkward. People were going, "You." Kids laughing, including Sophie, just a mix of reactions. But my mother was livid. She started berating me later about behaving disgracefully and shamelessly on Thanksgiving dinner table, no less. I admitted it was on purpose to stop her from sharing an embarrassing moment of my stepdaughter and potentially traumatizing her for years to come. She laughed at the word traumatizing, then called me childish and said I should be ashamed of myself for pulling this stunt at her home, on her Thanksgiving dinner. We had to leave and my wife and Sophie were laughing but still had no idea why I did it. Now my mother is upset and so is my father because he had invited his friends and now I made him look bad.